You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone.
The Tigers back with a winning record after a victory over SMU. Tonight on The Ryan Silverfield Show, we take you back to homecoming against the Mustangs and learn more about some of those traditions. Then we talk about community service and why it's so important for the Tigers to give back to Memphis.
The game is on.
The Ryan Silverfield Show is presented by AutoZone. When you've got car trouble, you want help from number one. So if you've got a battery problem, head to AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. And by Conway Services, the official HVAC partner of Tiger Athletics. Chick-fil-A, we didn't invent chicken, just the chicken sandwich. R.J. Young, technology solutions that power your business. Tennessee Lottery, turning dollars into dreams.
Title game hopes are still alive after the Tigers knock off SMU. Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Wolosh.
And I'm Jarvis Greer. You want to see those highlights, I bet. Well, let's go to them with Cassie Carlson.
Good news is the Tigers get starting quarterback Seth Hennigan back after missing UCF with a shoulder injury. The SMU Mustangs come to Memphis with one of the best offenses in college football, the third top 10 offense the Tigers have seen all season. First quarter, Mustangs in the red zone. Quarterback Tanner Mordecai fumbles, and it's recovered by Quindell Johnson. Defense shows up big time in this game, scoreless in the second. Maurice White with the pass rush as Mordecai is taken down. Later in the quarter, Mordecai throws a near pick. It's bobbled, and Danny Gray comes up with it. He goes 48 yards for a touchdown. SMU with a 7-0 lead. Memphis responds. Seth Hennigan hits Eddie Lewis in the back of the end zone, and that one ties up the game. 10-7 at half, same score in the third quarter. After Hennigan throws a pick, the defense coming up with another stop. Rodney Owen sacks Mordecai, 1 of 5 on the day. Memphis goes 3 and out, and on the next drive, they punt it away. The punt's up, then it's bobbled and fumbled, recovered by long snapper Preston Brady in SMU territory. Memphis gets the ball back as Marquavius Weaver will score on the drive. 21-10 in the fourth, and Memphis pulling off some trickery. Ball snapped through Seth Hennigan's legs to Rodriguez Clark as he throws a 27-yard completion to Sean Dykes for a touchdown, 28-10. SMU with back-to-back scores, 28-25. Mustangs with the ball with less than 2 minutes to play. Mordecai with time to throw, and Rodney Owens baits him and comes up with the interception. That'll do it. Memphis holds off the ranked Mustangs 28-25 for a much-needed win. Keeping cool under pressure is defensive back Rodney Owens with the interception to seal the deal. His first of the season, fourth of his career. The redshirt senior also had a sack and 6 tackles. It's time now to hear from head coach Ryan Silverfield with Jarvo and Wolo after the big win.
Another game with SMU that goes down to the wire. But, Coach, this time it's the defense that rises to the occasion.
Yeah, we've been a part of these games. You really look over the last 3 years. I talked to our team, you come back to the game day game that was here. It was 48-54 where SMU had the chance for an onside kick to get the ball back and win that game that was here in front of that sellout crowd. And you go back to last year, we had a chance on the final drive at their place to win the game. And then, of course, the final drive here, and obviously a way to seal it. And the defense played absolutely fantastic. Lights out today. Just so proud of everybody's efforts. Man, it was great to see the defense step up.
Because 3 turnovers, that's amazing. But also your quarterback came back, and that is a big difference maker when Seth Hennigan steps on the field.
No question. Look, Seth, I don't think we ever meant for him to throw over 50 passes in this game, but he did what was called. And, I told the guys pregame, I said, whatever it's going to take. I don't know what it's going to look like. I did know that we were going to be aggressive. And the one thing is our special teams and our defense knew that the offense was going to be aggressive, and they were on board with it. And I think it showed that when everybody played together as a team, it worked out really well. And again, like I said, defense stepped up when they needed to, and it turned out the right way.
Tell us about pounding that rock, Coach. You say you do the same thing over and over. We're going to do this as a program, do it the right way. And when you get your quarterback back out there, the whole aptitude of the team seems to step up.
Well, I really think so. And I've mentioned this to you guys before. you preach doing certain things a certain way. You preach a similar message week in and week out. And we have a plan in place. We really do. And sometimes it doesn't always show its dividends on the field. And part of it was, versus Central Florida, we were playing with our one-time four-string quarterback. And Peter Parrish is a great quarterback and really thrilled he's part of our roster and is going to be part of our equation moving forward. But when you have an 18-year-old quarterback like Seth Hennigan that can come in and step up and do things. Now, did he play a perfect game? No, he'll be the first to tell you that there's things he's need to improve upon. But I think what it does is shows you when we talk about this is the way we're going to do it and this is how we're going to do it, keep believing. Because a lot of the people on the outside left us for dead, and they keep fighting, they believe, and they keep working. And I think it pays huge dividends, and we just want to continue to see it show up in the win column.
And about that defense, you finally win the giveaway, takeaway, turnover battle, and that was something you've been preaching. Just keep doing it, it'll come. And then, of course, Rodney Owens gets that big pickoff at the end.
Yeah, I think you look at the game as a whole, right? You talked about 3 takeaways. Obviously, we had that one, again, backed up interception that put our defense in a bad situation. Then they go step up and do a fantastic job. And then Preston Brady on the fumble recovery, we get the 2 other turnovers by our defense. And that's what you want, to be +2 in the turnover margin. That helps you, right? We're way too far down that ladder right now in the national rankings. It's something that in order for us to continue to have success week in and week out, that's what we got to get fixed. Are we there yet? No, because we still had a turnover. But, man, it's great to get those takeaways.
This, by the way, was homecoming weekend, which is always fun for fans. But what does it mean to players and to coaches? Homecoming was originally invented so people would come back on campus, feel good about their football program, relive the good old memories. And it's gotten bigger and bigger, Coach, over the years. What does it mean to you?
Well, I think it's always great when you can bring back the alumni, right? We're at a place like the University of Memphis where so many former players, so many former students come back to campus, get to see what's going on, see the growth of the campus, see this wonderful city, have the opportunity to attend a football game. So I think the pageantry of college football is on full display on homecoming. It's great to have all the fans there in the Liberty Bowl to be a part of the festivities. I just think it's a great event, a great weekend, and it's a way to celebrate not only the University of Memphis, the football program, the city, and everything that this university has been able to provide.
I don't know if the players get to see some of the floats come by because a lot of them live in Carpenter and they may live in the apartments around campus, but just having that feel that, hey, this is really, everybody calls Memphis a commuter school, but there's a lot of kids that do live on campus, and a lot of people do come back to actually take part in those facilities.
Yeah, no question. I don't know how often our football players get to see all that stuff, but they know that main show on Saturday morning, I think that's important. I think it's so unique to be able to have a place that, that some may consider a commuter campus, but we know good and well that so many students are excited to come back, so many do live on campus, and have the opportunity to celebrate what it means to have one time been a University of Memphis student and currently be a student at the university.
I know you guys are going to be locked in on the football game itself, but what do you talk to the young men about when it comes to homecoming?
Well, I just think they understand the importance, right? Every game is going to be, the next one's the most important, but I think it's unique to have that feeling that, hey, this is the opportunity not only just for the normal fans, the normal population that comes and watch you play, but now these are all alum that care so greatly about everything, that pride, wear that blue with such great pride, and they'll be in there watching. I think it's important that our players understand that, hey, those people in the stands aren't just the normal season ticket holders, not just the normal fans. A lot of them hold the degree from Memphis and are excited to be back just to watch them play.
You have that Gipper speech, in hand, say, look, we've got the alums here and they want to, cheer for dear old U of M and all that, but sometimes you don't see it until you break through that Tiger hit.
Yeah, I think that's like a lot of things, right? The guys will be plenty motivated, plenty excited, and I do think it's important that you do talk about it as the week goes on. And we have a variety of different speeches I've used to get those guys, and they run out that tunnel like their hair's darn on fire, and I think there'll be some extra added motivation.
Another big tradition of this Memphis Tigers football program is giving back to the community. Coming up after the break, we learn some of the best community service activities these Tigers do and why it's so important for them to reach young kids.
You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone.
The Memphis Tigers are extremely busy in the middle of football season, but they always set aside time to give back, especially to kids in Memphis.
When the Tigers put on their uniforms, they're usually gearing up for a game. but other times they wear them and turn into heroes for kids in Memphis.
When you go to these schools, you're around these little kids. What's the look on their face when they see a bunch of football players from their city walk through the door?
Everybody's a hero. I think, a lot of times the higher profile guys are so, recognizable in numbers, but when you go into a school, anybody that walks in, honestly, that's willing to take the time to come and hang out with them and play and do kickball or, whatever it is, they're a hero. So that's the really cool part, is it doesn't matter, who you are really, they're just happy that you're there to spend time with them.
Community service is a big part of Memphis football. Director of Player Relations, Lauren Hillman, says they try to do one activity per week.
What are some examples of things you might be going out and doing with the players?
So we're kind of across the board. We'll go in, read to students in schools. We go to youth villages and hang out with kids there. We go and just go to recess at schools. I mean, pretty much anything across the board. I know in the past they've done food banks, just anything and everything that's requested of us that we're able to do from an NCAA standpoint, we're happy to do.
Players have found it just as rewarding, especially Memphians like Kylan Watkins and Jacob Likes.
It's very important because me growing up, just, also watching the Memphis football players and just me playing football, I wanted to always, go to a game and meet some guys, for me to play that role and go and meet kids and have fun with them and, talk to them and share different experiences. They're talking back to me, we're having fun and stuff. So it really warms my heart and, it really motivates me also.
I like it because, being from Memphis, I just remember as a kid, seeing the Memphis football players and not only seeing the football players, how much that meant to us, but going to these different communities across the city and especially kids in need, seeing how it brightens their day and takes away from the stuff they might have going on in their life and doing stuff with the kids like the youth villages like we did today or going to, food drives, soup kitchens, stuff like that, whatever it might be, just doing whatever we can across the city with the position that we have being on the football team. I think it's a great thing.
Whether it's playing kickball, hanging out, talking football, or basketball, the players leave an impression on the kids, and the kids leave the players with a smile on their faces.
The funniest story actually I have is probably this one kid walked up to me. He goes, "Is Coach gonna be here?" I'm like, "No, he's not coming today." He goes, "You need to talk to him." I go, "What's up?" He goes, "All I need is an opportunity. That's all I need." He was like, "I can kick, I can throw, I can pass." He goes, "I'm working on my blocking, but I'm gonna get it down. I can do it." I go, "I'll put in a word for you. I got you." Kid was probably 11 years old.
Future Tiger.
Future Tiger, though. He was all about it. He just wanted to talk to Coach. That's all he wanted to do.
Did you pass his name along to Ryan? Hey, I got a 20-30 for you.
Well, I got 20, 30 kid,
Yeah.
Great upside.
You get different reactions, but I know today one kid asked me, did we play for the Memphis Grizzlies? I was like, nah.
Nice compliment, though.
Yeah, it's a compliment, but I was like, nah, we play for the Memphis Tigers. And, some of those guys, that really know anything about football or stuff like that, they be excited.
What's the reaction or feedback you get from the players who maybe gain some perspective?
I think it's really important for our guys to plug in and do community service. There's several different reasons why, but the main thing is that it just makes them happy. I mean, every time we leave, they're just like, "Man, I'm really glad I did that. I had such a good time." I think a lot of times it helps them realize what some of their strengths are that they may not necessarily realize. It's an opportunity for me to just kind of see their personalities in a different way. Obviously, you see them academically, you see them on the football field, but to see them hanging out with kids and really stepping up into leadership roles, taking over different activities, it's really cool. But the players almost always, I think, probably benefit more in a lot of ways than the kids do and don't even realize it.
That's the case for Watkins. His mom is a middle school teacher. From a young age, he saw how teachers can impact students. He hopes one day he can have an even bigger impact on kids in Memphis.
I want to open up a type of business where it's like an academic and athletic center for kids in Memphis who, really can't afford it. But, I get them tutoring and, since my mom's a teacher, I'm pretty sure she was gonna help me out with, some of her teacher friends. I had them, working out, doing skill work and different stuff, strength training, and also getting tutoring and learning,
With Kylan Watkins and Jacob Likes, two local kids that give back plenty, what makes you so proud to see them giving back?
I mean, they're products of this community, and I think it's really important for all of our students to give back, but it's really cool just to see those guys that are from, you know, 2 areas in Memphis to give back, and also those 2 are very competitive. So when we go to different schools, I mean, those are 2 of the ones that are super competitive and, you know, enjoy really getting in there and hanging out with the kids, but it's just always rewarding to see our students giving back to the city that they grew up in.
The complete Tiger football experience for a player obviously is on the field, it's academics, but there's more. There's a sense, Coach, of giving back to the community.
Community service is something that's so important to our program. It's something we've harped on in my 6 years here at the university. And that's a great thing about this community, right? There's so many things that our program, our student athletes can do to give back to this university, to the city of Memphis, and we take a lot of pride in it. We talk about it. We've got wonderful people that help us do community outreach. Lauren Hillman, our Director of Player Relations, actually does a great job. And so whether it's going to serving an elementary school or serving the homeless, whatever we can do within the city, within the 901, we try to put on full display. And our guys take a lot of pride in it. And one of the things we do is in team meetings, I'll show pictures of those guys volunteering. And then we call it our standard. All right, we also have not our standard, but when we go out there and do great community service, it's part of our standard and what our expectations are. And we'll show the pictures, and I'll have them stand up, and all the rest of the team give them a round of applause because it means the world to us. What we do in between the white lines and winning football games, we take a lot of pride in. But what we also do in the classroom, in the community, we take just as much pride in. I'm really proud of the way our guys have continued to give back to others.
I'm sure that you match up guys with what might be some of their passions that they can give back to. So your connection, if I recall correctly, has to do with dogs, and you and your wife are incredible dog lovers.
There's a lot of wonderful things within the Memphis community that we're able to give back to and be involved with, but I've got a soft spot for dogs, that's for sure. And you know, the local animal shelter, anything we can do to help out in that arena, that's just one of the many things that we'd like to be involved with.
When you have all the different things you do with community service, do you have the guys come back and say, you know, I really hadn't thought about doing that, but now that I'm doing it, they really ramp up their efforts with it?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think just like a lot of things, we talk about it all the time, sometimes when you give, you're the one that actually receives because you feel better about yourself. You've given a little bit of your time, a little bit of your effort, a little bit of your heart and soul to help those that need it. And it's amazing. Our guys come back and say, Coach, that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. I can't wait to go back and do that again. You know, probably originally a lot of these guys are like, oh, here's another thing we got to do. But they volunteer their services. They volunteer their time. And when they come back, man, they feel like, oh, I feel like a better person. I want to continue to give of myself. And, you know, ultimately they make others better.
The Tigers have another 11 a.m. kick, this time against ECU. We preview the matchup with the Pirates right after this.
You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone. Let's take a look at the AutoZone road ahead.
The road ahead is an early road again. East Carolina in town, 11 o'clock football game. Coach, we saw this quarterback, Holton Ahlers, as a freshman. He was terrific, and he's getting better.
He's one of those quarterbacks that's had a lot of success at East Carolina. We know the type of team they are. They're well coached. They play really hard. They like to run the football. They got big offensive linemen. They got big tight ends. Like you said, a big quarterback that's had success there. He'll air it out, but he also likes to run the football himself.
And they've got a lot of kids that have come into the program since the last time Memphis played them over there in Greenville, and they look like a different team.
Yeah, there's no question about it. They're one of those teams that have continued to develop guys the right way. They've had some success in the transfer portal, but they've well developed. They're going to continue to push, and they're going to be dangerous. We know that.
Defensively, what have you got to do to get your O going?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. We know that they're going to be able to blitz. They're going to show a lot of pressure. They'll drop those safety down. So, you know, maybe we play with a little bit of tempo, but we also have to execute on all cylinders. We can't shoot ourselves in the foot. We got to be clicking. We got to be able to own the football and continue to execute at a high level.
That was tonight's AutoZone Road Ahead. AutoZone, America's #1 battery destination and official sponsor of Tiger Athletics. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
East Carolina is a very dangerous and improving football team. Stick around, we'll put a bow on this in just a minute.
You're watching The Ryan Silverfield Show, presented by AutoZone.
That'll do it. Thanks so much for joining us. Next week, it'll be extra special, a day in the life of Ryan.
The Ryan Silverfield Show is presented by AutoZone. Next time you need a car battery, just pick it up. Visit AutoZone.com and select same-day store pickup. Just one reason why AutoZone is America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. And by Conway Services, official HVAC partner of Tiger Athletics. Chick-fil-A, we didn't invent the chicken, just the chicken sandwich. R.J. Young, technology solutions that power your business. Tennessee Lottery, turning dollars into dreams. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the University of Memphis Sports Network. This copyrighted telecast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Memphis. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Memphis and Learfield.